What's up, people? In this video, we are going to do something a little bit different. A lot of people have been asking me about to make a workout video and all these tips on working out. I haven't done it yet. I'm actually a little bit under the weather, unfortunately, so I can't I haven't been to the gym in a few days, and I probably won't go for another few days, unfortunately. But I wanted to make a video that'll at least give you guys an idea, on what you can do, or I guess basically explain to you what I do and some of my quote unquote training philosophy. No pictures in here, unfortunately, but if you want to know, I guess you want maybe a teaser on what I recommend when it comes to working out, I made another bomb ass 21 slide PowerPoint presentation. So yeah, if you're wondering what should I do, how should I work out, this is what I do. There's a million ways to skin a cat. Obviously you don't have to do it this way, but this is how I do it. Okay, so what do we do here? Benefits of doing a full body workout. Oh, by the way, obviously I recommend to do full body workouts. Not this is about doing a full body workout, okay? It has advantages, disadvantages. Not really here to argue the benefits of not doing it or the advantages versus the disadvantages. This is really just to tell you how I do it, like I said, and other considerations. Okay, number one, requires no thinking. When you do a full body workout, you don't have to micromanage and think about, okay, I did my chest and triceps yesterday, I did my biceps the day before that, I did these exercises for the past 3 months, now I have to mix it up, I have to do this, I have to do that. It requires virtually no thinking because every single day you're working your entire body, so you don't have to think about it, I guess. And as if you've watched any of my videos, you know that's a theme in my videos. I don't like to fucking think too hard about this fitness shit. Number two, can be done every day. Depending, I guess I should add there, depending on the intensity of your workout. If you're doing gut busting, 3-4 hour workouts, then you probably need a day of rest after that. But most people probably will not do that, especially beginners. You're not going to work out for 3 or 4 hours. So if you're just starting out and you want to do just a basic hour, 45 minutes workout, full body workouts, I think can be done every day. You can just focus on different body parts a little bit more versus a little bit less. Better for increasing metabolism. Basically what this means is that when you train your body, when you do resistance training, you build more muscle, right? You what do they say? You break down the muscle, and then when you recover it, builds it back up. So when you hit more muscles, it helps to speed up your metabolism because you're breaking down all these muscles. You need to eat more food to build them back up, right? As opposed to if you just do chest and back or something, whatever, even though those are two fairly large muscle groups. This is what I think. I'm a fan of more of a leaner look. I don't want to get really super big. Which bodybuilding, a bro split would be more effective for that. This is more to just keep you lean, and doing full body workouts will do that. Minimal micromanaging. I kind of mentioned that before. When you do full body workouts every single day, you don't actually need to think about it. You just go, you do your workout, and that's it. You leave. It's pre-made already for you. Number 5, much broader range of possible exercises. So basically what this means is that I guess actually now that I think about it, it's not that you have a broader range of possible exercises. It's that you can do a more varied workout and mix and match a lot of stuff, I think, with more freedom than if you're only doing 1 or 2 body part workouts. For example, let's say you're doing, traditional, whatever, chest and triceps or something as a bodybuilder. You have to pick chest exercises and you have to pick tricep exercises. But if you're doing full body workouts, you're going to pick something for legs, something for back, something for chest, something for shoulders. Plus, you have the flexibility to pick all of these other full body workout exercises that you can do. Burpees, fucking Olympic lifts, kettlebells, whatever. Number 6, guaranteed to build a balanced body. Nothing is really guaranteed in life, but when you do bodybuilding, you run the risk of even accidentally focusing too much on the wrong body parts, or neglecting certain exercises because you just don't like to do them, or doing chest day more than you should just because it's so fun, or skipping leg day, God forbid. So you're more likely, because you have more exercises in your actual workout that hit all of your body, or more full body exercises, that you're more likely to build a body that's balanced at least. Okay, how do you do it? Basically what you do is you combine multi-joint exercises with full body calisthenics or aerobics. Okay, this sounds complicated, but it's really not. Okay, so multi-joint exercises is basically anything that's not an isolation exercise. Now you can add isolation exercises, and some exercises or some body parts require isolation, like biceps, for example. But most of your exercises should be multi-joint. Okay, things like squat, things like deadlift, things like, I guess, bench press is multi-joint, right? All the Olympic lifts, anything with kettlebells, those are all exercises that will recruit activity from more than one body part, right? So like it's not, as opposed to a training session that's made of only isolation exercises from like Nautilus machines or something. And then when you combine this, like, this workout with other full body exercises or aerobics, you've got like, you're specializing similar to how bodybuilding does. You do an exercise for back, one for chest, one for arms, blah, blah, blah. You're doing all of that. So you hit everything kind of individually, and then you do full body stuff to hit everything at the same time. That makes sense? Okay, so like I said, you pick 1 to 2 exercises for each body part. Some body parts, like biceps, for example, I don't think you need to pick more than 1 exercise for biceps. Just pick the one that you like the best, or that works the best for you, or that you feel the most benefit from. I'll tell you how to go over that in a later slide. But something like back, for example, you might want to pick more than 1 exercise for back. Like, are you going to work your lats? Are you going to work your rhomboids? So for example, anyway, I don't want to make it too complicated. Pull-ups and rows are 2 body parts, right? Or 2 exercises that hit like the full range of your back, you could say. When you do your workout, I would say start with big muscles and work your way down. So for example, what are your biggest muscles? Your legs. After that is your back. After that is your chest, I think, right? And then, shoulders, biceps, triceps, whatever. Create a circuit. Okay, so this is going to essentially be circuit training. Like I said, there's a million ways to do this. Personally, what I like to do, not only do I not like to think, but I like to be as efficient as possible with my time. So for example, what I'll do, and I'll demonstrate this at some point in an actual video, but what I like to do is I like to do, for example, let's say squats. I start my workout with squats. I do as many squats as I can. Then when my legs are like dead, I'll go do pull-ups, right? I'll go do like a set of pull-ups. And then after that, I'll go do bench press, right? Like I move basically from exercise to exercise with no rest in between. They say that like this is almost kind of a form of cardio, right? So when it comes to working out, it's like everything has a price, right? So by doing it this way, I have less rest in between sets. So my overall strength and power output for each consecutive exercise will be less. But in my mind, in my opinion, the benefit of moving from exercise to exercise, getting that additional fat burning element of it, and being constantly mobile through the entire workout, I just personally feel that's better. Now again, like I said, that's not how I always train. That's just how this specific like routine is designed. Okay, and then you repeat the circuit 3 times, or 3 to 4 times, or 2 times even, like whatever you feel you're capable of doing that day, while keeping in mind that you're pushing yourself. Okay, but 3 is kind of like, I don't want to say it's the magic number, but like if you want to train every day, 3 is kind of like the sweet spot. Accessory training as desired. We'll go over this, I think, in a later slide. I think I have something on this, but like, let's say after you do your full body workouts and your full body exercises, you want to do a little bit more biceps. Say you just want bigger biceps. Fine, go ahead, add your biceps. You know what I mean? You want to do more abs. Okay, go ahead, do more abs, right? But the point here is that we're at least like setting the foundation of building a balanced body to begin with, and then whatever like freakishly large body part or weakness that you want to work on, you can do after you've already done like the main part of your training. Okay, think of accessory training like dessert. Okay, other considerations. I would say that how heavy you lift does not matter. It's all about leverage. Okay, so what I mean by this is that don't be concerned with lifting heavy. Like many times in many exercises, I'll go and grab like ridiculous like girl weights, and I'll just like move them in positions where I don't have a lot of leverage, right? Like rotator. I do a lot of rotator cuff stuff and like upper back, because that's like a weak spot for me, and I work on that a lot. And it's enough for me. Like it's preferable for me to do a lighter weight, but still heavy enough that there is some leverage, but light enough that I can do 25 to 30 reps per set, or sometimes even more, sometimes 50 reps per set, right? Because that every rep that I do, number one, when you do lighter weight, you're able to have a much cleaner rep, right? You're able to do it as perfectly as you want. And you're able to do more. So like if you do an exercise, if you do a rep and you get that like amazing feeling because you're hitting muscles that don't normally get hit, don't be so worried about upping the weight just because like you want to look cool at the gym. Like that's one of the things you need to get over when you go to the gym. It's like nobody fucking cares what you look like. Okay, do girl weights, do like lightweight, like it doesn't matter. Number two, it's 50% general fitness, 50% weakness training. Okay, very important to work on your weaknesses. Okay, and how you identify your weaknesses, in my opinion, is by looking for that amazing feeling that you get when you do a certain type of exercise, right? For example, for me, even just thinking about doing a bench press, right? Like when I do bench, I get this like amazing feeling like right here in my trap and like the top part, I don't know, was this my deltoid or something, to the point where like I'll load up virtually nothing on the weight and I'll do 25, 30 reps just because it feels so good for those problem areas. And the crazy thing is that your physique will, I believe your physique will respond much more to weakness training as opposed to just loading up a bunch of heavy weight and like, you know, jerking around some like quote unquote heavier weight, which you think would like stimulate the muscle more. But when you're actually focusing on stimulating weak muscles, not only is it building a more aesthetic body because it's filling out the parts that need to be filled out, but when you work a weak muscle that doesn't get worked a lot, the response to that is going to be much greater, right? It's like when you take somebody who just starts working out, the first 3 months, 6 months, they're going to gain a lot, right? And then after that, the gains kind of taper off a little bit and they come more slowly. Okay, mix different rep ranges as desired, necessary. Don't feel like you need to do the same rep range for every body part. Okay, this is like counterintuitive, and you see like in every fucking fitness program, people are like, 5 to 7 reps for everything, blah, blah, blah. I don't think that's necessary. I think you can do, like, let's take pull-ups, for example. If you try to do pull-ups, like most people cannot do 10 pull-ups, right? So, you know, there might be some benefit in doing like the assisted pull-up machine to get up to 10, or you might want to do 50, or you might want to just try and do like negatives on the pull-up machine, right? When it comes to squats, there might be some benefit in doing 50 squats with no weight. But in general, right, like you want to stay on the higher end of the rep range when you're doing these types of workouts, okay? You don't want to try and hit like a PR, and you don't want to do like 5 reps, although I guess you could. You can mix stuff like that in there if you want. Generally, don't do it in the beginning. Do it after you've already warmed up a little bit, obviously. But like, I guess what I should say is like stay on the higher end of the rep range, but work down to as low as you feel comfortable, if that makes sense. You don't have to do cardio every day, but you have to do cardio. Yeah, obviously you have to do cardio. Like, there's no way around it. Like, you should be doing cardio. Don't skip cardio. Just don't skip it. It's good for you. It's gonna lean you out. It's gonna build like, it's very good for your conditioning, especially like running. Like running's awesome. It's free. You have to pay for it, right? You have like ground, and you can go outside. You can go run, get like a good like 20, 30, 40 hour long run in. Olympic lifts, okay, highly recommend you guys learn some of the Olympic lifts. You can do them with kettlebells if you are super uncoordinated or have never done them before. With kettlebells, they're a little bit easier, but will still require some training or some learning. Lightweight Olympic lifts are very good for you because the Olympic lifts like snatch, clean, jerk, I guess like push press and all that stuff, those work generally your entire body, or yeah, pretty much your entire body. And then, like I said in the last slide, you can add isolation or accessories as accessory exercises at the end if you want, okay? The idea is that this entire full body workout, you don't really need to add any accessories because you're working your weaknesses the entire time. But of course, if you want to afterwards, you want to like, you know, whatever, get like those obliques like really popping out or something, or you want a bigger biceps, like I said, or bigger traps, whatever, like go ahead, but do that at the end, save that to the end. Okay, full body exercises. Snatch, clean, and swing. These are honestly like better done with kettlebells. And this is if you have access to these. If you don't have access to kettlebells and you don't have a type, like right now I don't have kettlebells and I don't have the type of gym where I can fucking do this shit like at all. I mean, I guess I could do it with dumbbells, but it's not really the same with dumbbells. It's not, the reps don't feel as clean. If you have kettlebells, then you can do like a warm-up set of maybe 15 reps of each of these, it's a lot of volume, but this is a warm-up, remember. Snatch, clean, swing, I'll let you guys like look those up on your own. I can't obviously demonstrate those to you right now, but those are very good to learn how to do. If you've never done them before, they will take a little bit of learning to learn how to do the movement, because it's fairly more complicated than like your typical like bodybuilding like push or pull or something, but highly recommended that you work those in, preferably as a warm-up to get your body warmed up to like doing all this other shit. You don't have to do these, I guess. You can just skip right straight to the bodybuilding stuff and compensate in some other way. But these are a very good way to, again, like I said, focus on building a balanced body. Like I said, kettlebells are easier for beginners just because it's easy to do these with a kettlebell. And you can mix up the weights as desired. But like I said before, generally think it's a good idea to stick to the the higher end of the rep range, especially during a warm up, right? Help you like burn a little bit more fat. And it'll just kind of like keep you like a little bit leaner and allow you to do, let's say you do 15 reps of each of these per hand. So 30, 30, 30, that's 90 reps. And then you repeat that 3 times. That's 270 reps. You're gonna be very warm after that. And it's a nice little like mini cardio session. Legs, here's some sample leg exercises, okay? Squats, obviously you should be doing squats. Calf raises, if you wanna do that. If your cardio or like aerobic training is not doing any, like you're not hitting your calves enough, I guess you could do calf raises. It's also like very aesthetic to have like nice looking calves. And butt stuff, okay? If you're like one of these girls, you want like a big Instagram butt or something, you can go ahead and do that. I didn't put like anything for hamstrings on here. I guess you can like try and work deadlifts in there, but the problem with like trying to work deadlifts or even squats on this is that when you're doing circuit training, there's normally not a lot of squat racks in a gym, and you can't like go to a set of squats or a set of deadlifts and expect to come back and like have your fucking bar still be available, right? So I generally do like air squats, right? I don't really squat that heavy. Is that bad? You know, if I'm not doing this type of workout and I know I can come back to my squat rack, okay, I'll put a little bit of weight on there. But in my opinion, like it's perfectly fine to do like high rep squats, right? There's a lot of value in being able to do 150 squats without resting, right? Which like you're only going to be able to get to that point. Well, not only, but like you can get to that point by just doing lots of squats, okay? Yeah, so that's legs. And then for back, okay, I would do some rows, some pull-ups. Rows, like you guys can look this stuff up on your own. Like I don't want to explain like what a row is or what a pull-up is. A back extension, that's like, whatever, just look it up on your own. You should know what that is. And a deadlift, right? So the reason I have question mark after deadlifts is the same thing for what I said about squats, right? Like there's only so many bars in the gym, and for you to load up a bar and do deadlifts in the middle of your like 10 exercise circuit, you can't really do that. You know what I mean? So like maybe try and work some like other hamstring work in there if you want. The back and hip extensions do kind of work your hamstrings. Squats kind of work your hamstrings, but nothing in the same way that like a deadlift will do. So like it's one of those things like you should do, but like, you know, like I don't know, like how are you going to do it? I guess you could do like hamstrings on like the hamstring machine or the leg curl machine. Is it leg curl or leg extension? Leg extension. Yeah, anyway, if you can find a solution for that, let me know. Okay, chest, bench press. Obviously, you should be doing bench press. You can do it either on the bar or with dumbbells. I did it with dumbbells basically my entire life. Rarely did a bench press like on the bar. Noticed that my shoulders seem to be like a little bit underdeveloped as a result, which is why I do so much shoulder work now. So like I'm gonna say it's probably better to do the bench press with the bar if you have the option. But again, bench press is one of these things where it's like a very popular exercise, and the bench is always there's always like a fucking line for it. So if it's available, do that. But if it's not, do it with dumbbells. Like it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Dips are also very good for your chest, very good for your triceps. It's like a functional exercise, uses your own body weight. And it's just very good at like building everything like in this region. So definitely work those in somewhere. Accessories, these are things like flies, things like overhead, like overhead pull? I forget what it's called, but you guys know what I'm talking about. You can do stuff like that as well. You can work those in there if you want, but definitely do these too, I would say. Shoulders. Okay, so this is I guess unique to me, but I'm going to assume that most people out there don't really have very good posture. You spend a lot of time on the computer, which will fuck up your body straight up and like give you a lot of shoulder imbalances that are not really addressed in most training fucking programs, I guess. So what I say when I go to the gym, I say every day is shoulders day, right? Every day that I go to the gym, I work my shoulders, and I just make sure to like gas out on my shoulders every single day, just because it feels really good when I do it. And like you'll notice me say this many times, a lot of what I recommend to do is basically find that really sweet spot where when you do the rep, it feels really good, because that means that you're working a muscle that rarely gets worked. Okay. And that's what we're after here, essentially. And also the full body conditioning. Okay. But that working the muscles that don't get worked, that's a major part of these types of workouts. Okay, every day is shoulders day. Shoulders respond very quickly to training and improve your physique a lot. Okay, so this is true. When you train your shoulders, they respond very quickly. I'm not sure if this is because like they have androgen receptors, or if it's because they're generally underdeveloped in most people, because most people have bad posture, spend a lot of time on the computer. So when you actually finally do train them, they kind of blow up. I don't really know. I don't really care. But yeah, the point is to work them. I don't know. I like working them every day. I'm a guy, obviously. It looks nice when you have big shoulders, like, period. Improve your physique, like I said, like having, like looking at somebody and determining if they have an attractive body. Obviously, it needs to be balanced, but like your shoulders have a major effect on that, right? Like the size of your traps, the size of your deltoids, and your upper back as well will like improve your posture. Like all this shit is like amazing for like looking good. So definitely make sure to do like, I don't know. I like doing lots of shoulder exercises. Like you look like, I also get to work out without my shirt on. So like I get to look at myself, like, and you see like a vein like popping out here, like on your trap. It looks fucking awesome. I don't know. I just enjoy doing it, and it feels really good. Okay. So like I'm always fucking focusing on my shoulders. Specifically though, you should do military press. All right. You guys can look these up all on your own. Lateral raises, bent arm lateral raises, rotator cuff stuff. Look that up. And rear deltoid. Okay, these are, and what is it? Oh shit. Mess around this. Okay, hold on. Come on. Fuck, god damn it. Anyway, here at the bottom it says mess around and find a spot that feels good. So for me, like my exercises that I notice that I get that like really good feeling from working a weak muscle is when I do like lat raises, bent arm lat raises, any sort of rotator cuff activity, and anything for my rear delts. Military press, not so much, but you know, I don't really know why that is, but whatever. I still do them anyway because it's important to work your delts. But yeah, can't emphasize working your shoulders enough. Ladies, don't skip shoulders. Don't do it. Like ladies in general, don't skip any fucking body parts. Like just don't do it. Just don't. Okay, it's stupid. Biceps and triceps, otherwise known as arms. Pull-ups are really good. Dips are really good. Externally rotated curls with dumbbells. This is something that I'm gonna have to like demonstrate for you guys. But basically, like, I don't know. I can't really show you honestly. But like, it's a dumbbell curl. Dumbbell curl? Yeah, dumbbells are the small ones, right? A dumbbell curl where you pin your arms to your side, and instead of having your arm in front of you, I don't know if you can see this, instead of having your arm like this but sticking out, you rotate them. You do this, right? And you curl the weight like that. And what this will do is this will work like the entire outside of your arm and a little bit of your delt and your rear delt as well as your biceps. In my experience, it's very effective at like making my biceps like really big and like nice looking without any work at all, other than that like one exercise. But again, maybe that's me because of my own personal like muscular imbalances. I don't really know. I've just found that it works for me. I have internally rotated shoulders, especially my right one is totally fucked. So I do need to do that. Okay. Externally rotated curls with dumbbells, but with your palms facing down. Okay, so this is a curl palm up, this is a curl palm down. I really like these as well for the same reason. Works the entire like back of the arm, back of the shoulder in a way that rarely gets worked because our shoulders are internally rotated so much. Muscle ups. This is basically where you do a pull up, but instead of stopping like here, you muscle yourself up so that the bar is like underneath you, right? Like you guys know what I'm talking about. Work your way up to those, but it's a lot based on strength, and it's not technically only your biceps and triceps. It's your back and chest and all that. But it's definitely like a nice little like sub goal for you to work up to, so that like, you know, it's just a very good like nice thing to have. Okay, abs/core. I personally think that the ab wheel is king, right? Doing the ab wheel, like the first time you do the ab wheel, if you've never done it before, you're gonna be the most sore you've ever been for like a week. Okay, like I'll tell you right now, like it's not fun that first week. But after you do it, Like honestly, I like it's number one, it's really fun. Number two, you get really good results. Number three, it looks fucking boss as fuck when you do that in the gym, and people are just like in awe that you've like been doing the ab wheel rollouts for like a minute straight, and you're like going all the way to the ground. I don't know, a little bit of an ego boost in my opinion. Work up to doing. So like most of the time when you do the ab wheel, you start on your knees and you roll out. You want to work up to not being on your knees, being on your feet and rolling out. It's going to take a long time, straight up. Like it's not something you do in like a week, but work up to it. Okay, I think it's worth working up to. Back and hip extensions, you guys can look those up on your own. GHD sit-ups, again, this is something that's like a little bit more, I don't want to say advanced, but like not for people who are just starting out. It's just like we want to test yourself. If they even have a GHD machine, you guys can look those up. Normal sit-ups are also very good. Like do 50 sit-ups in every workout. That's hard. Most people can't do that. 50 sit-ups or 20 sit-ups, shit. Weighted sit-ups and crunches, like the weighted sit-ups I would recommend that you do on like a decline bench. What I used to like to do is hold a 45-pound weight, like a plate, and do decline sit-ups and set the setting to like the maximum incline. It's just good. Little things like this will help like keep you interested in going to the gym, make it a little bit harder, make it a little bit more challenging. Weighted crunches I think are also very good. I love weighted crunches for number one, it's kind of like an unintentional vacuum. So basically what's going to happen, it's going to make your waistline smaller. It's going to make your stomach protrude less, so you have a much like thinner look. And it's also really good for like building your actual abs. It's one of the best things you can do. When I make my workout video, I will show you guys a very good ab routine that I think is like worth doing personally, that I stole from somewhere else, whatever. Anyway, leg and knee raises is like when you hang from a bar and do like leg raises or knee raises. These are really good because it's also a very good stretch for like your lats. So like a lot of the time when I do these like leg raises, yeah, I am working my core, but the reason I do them is because it's such a good stretch from my back, right? To like kick your legs up there like that and just feel your back muscles stretch in a way that they rarely get stretched. So I really like that. Yeah, also very good for like, I can't show you guys, but like, let's say these are your legs and this is your core, right? The muscles that kind of point down to like your pubic region, it's very good for building those. So like if you're lean enough and you want that look, I think it's called the Adonis belt, but whatever. It's very good for those. Weighted crunches. Oh, I put that in there twice. Anyway, so the thing with abs and core is you have a lot of flexibility with these exercises, which you want to do. There's so many exercises. There's so many options. These are some of my favorites, but I'll always add in like extra accessories if I'm like bored and I want to do something else. Not possible to like list everything, so just figure it out. Conditioning. Cardio machines are stupid but better than nothing. Like go outside, go for a run. Unless it's like really cold where you live, you know, just fucking go outside, go for a run. Honestly, like that could just sum it up to that period. But if you can't do that, then I guess doing a cardio machines is fine. Like you want to do the bike, you want to do the elliptical. I don't know. I think the elliptical is a fucking joke, to be honest. I think it's like actually a joke. I've done the elliptical many times for like many extended periods of time. Never once have I like been out of breath on the fucking elliptical. It's like not, how can you even say that's like cardio? Whereas like once you go running and tell me that that's not a fucking workout, you know what I mean? Okay, so you need to do conditioning, but you can't only do conditioning. This is for like all you like anorexic girls out there who think that like it's easy to build muscle, and if you like touch a weight, you'll like look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. No, period. Don't only do cardio. Like people only do cardio, like you get what you deserve. Like it's so fucking stupid. Like you're not going to do any research. You're not going to like look anything up on your own. You're not going to pay attention to what you look like in the mirror. I don't know. I don't have patience for that shit. But like bottom line, do conditioning, but don't only do conditioning. Okay, add it as like a bonus for like whatever weight training you're doing or sport training. I believe running is the best, and you're not really limited by anything other than like, do you have ground where you live? Probably. It's very healthy, lots of benefits, helps burn fat. It's very good for like overall conditioning, like in general. And you can run for as long as you want without having to like, you know, you want to go for an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, like just, you know, you're not going to run out of ground. Jump rope is okay too if you want to do that. like all these like little things I think are good, but like running is really the best, honestly. And body like a boxer. This is basically like, this is kind of the goal. I just kind of threw this in here, honestly. But in my opinion, boxers, like professional boxers, they generally have like very nice bodies, right? They're like really nicely developed shoulders, really nicely developed core, like lean arms, very fit, very athletic. They on the one hand are very strong. They can generate a lot of force and a lot of power for an extended period of time, which is like, is that not the goal, right? Like that's the goal. You know what I mean? Like, okay, fine, everybody has different sports, but if you can generate a lot, like power lifters, for example, they can generate a lot of force and a lot of power, but like once, marathon runners, extreme example, can generate a very small amount of power, but for like 10 hours. Okay. Like I feel like boxers are kind of, or MMA or whatever you want to say, like you have to be able to like put out maximum levels of power for extended periods of time, which is like kind of the ultimate in fitness, sort of. We'll get into that later. Sport/aerobic days. Okay, so you can swap out days like this with sports or aerobic days. Okay, and when I say days like this, I basically mean the bodybuilding days, right? Let's say you're doing this bodybuilding workout or like the full body workout that I said. One day you want to go do yoga, one day you want to go do a kickboxing class, like you want to take some whatever, like go ahead, do your thing. Like any day is fine, swap them out here and there. Like honestly, if all you did was this, that would be fine. All you did is like all these like aerobics classes and kickboxing and played all these sports. This is enough, okay? But the problem is that these require scheduling and they require other human beings. Whereas you can go to the gym anytime you want, as long as it's open, and do your workout by yourself and not even talk to anybody, okay? So yeah, like these are all good. Anything that gets you moving for an hour is fine. Zumba is a fucking joke. I'm sorry, Zumba instructors out there, but like, just like for old people, this shit. It's for old people and fat women. Like, sorry, but it's. I kind of threw that in as a joke, but like I know there's some people out there who'll be like, oh, I go to Zumba 5 days a week. How come this doesn't work? Okay, sports specific training is also worth considering. Whatever. This is basically just, I mean, like boxing or something like that. Like, obviously, but if you're playing a sport, like I don't even need to like this. I don't even need to tell you this shit. You know what I mean? Probably already working out. Stretching. Okay, nobody does it, but you probably should. Like, who stretches, really? Like, actually, like, nobody really does it. You should do it, but with all the shit that you need to do in a workout, you probably don't. You really should, though, because flexibility is strength. Because if you are strong at a certain range of motion, then you have a higher level of overall strength, if that makes sense, right? Like, if you can't put your arm above your head, then you are not strong when your arm is at full extension. Does that make sense? So you're not really that strong overall. You have a much more limited range of motion where you can apply strength. So like, yeah, you should do stretching, but like if you're already working out for an hour a day, would you go stretch for another hour? Probably not. But you should do it anyway, which is why I said it's good to incorporate an activity that has stretching already as part of it, like yoga or Pilates, right? 10 minutes is enough. Like honestly, just do something, just a quick stretch at the end, like just do it. Kelly Starrett is a very good resource for myofascial release. Look him up. I think he's got a YouTube channel. Basically like acute pressure on certain parts of your body to like loosen up what's called fascia. Just look him up on your own. He's very good for this kind of thing. Yeah. Best choices for types of sports or types of workouts that you can do. Gymnastics, adult gymnastics, this is the king right here in my opinion. Okay, look at a gymnast body. That is the ideal body, I think, for men. For women, like they're very lean, so like the women generally have small bust, but everything else is like where it should be. Like they look amazing. Oh my God. And you build incredible flexibility, like those splits, like whatever, anything, and they're incredibly strong and incredibly athletic, right? Gymnastics, if you have the like $300 a month to go do adult gymnastics, go do that. Like hands down for sure. Don't even like look at this. I mean, you can, fine, but like that's the king right there. Number 2, I like boxing or kickboxing training just for the reason that I mentioned earlier, that like you train to have maximal power output for an extended period of time, and you also look amazing in my opinion, plus you learn how to fight, so like added confidence boost right there. Like before I started doing Muay Thai last year, I mean I'd done like a little bit of karate here and there, but I didn't really know how to fight like at all. But now after doing it, I feel just kind of much like, I don't know, more comfortable in the world. Like I'm never going to fight anybody, obviously, but I know that I could if I had to. You know what I mean? I'm also a huge fan of CrossFit. Like the best thing about CrossFit is that they do so many varied types of training that they always like the guys at CrossFit, they get it. You know what I mean? They know you need to like mix up your workouts. They know you need like they make you do the hard shit. They push your boundaries. They push your limits. They make you work on your flexibility. They make you work on your like aerobic shit. They make you work on like maximizing your strength. They just do like they make you do everything, right? And it's like the perfect combination in my opinion. These are not listed in order, by the way. I really like gymnastics. One of these days I would love to like actually join a gymnastics gym and fucking do this finally. Olympic lifting is really good. Will probably require a little bit of instruction on how to do the lifts properly. It does require some like increased flexibility, which you can get around by doing the Olympic lifts with kettlebells. But Olympic lifting is like incredible for like building a balanced body by essentially doing like 5 different exercises. Things like snatch, clean and jerk, press, like that's the magic right there. You guys can look that stuff up on your own. I'm also a big fan of yoga and Pilates. If the yoga is like specific types of yoga, like an hour and 15 minutes minimum, I would say, and you could say like with a lot of vinyasa, right? It's kind of hard to like give you specific instructions, but basically like a lot of movement and a lot of core work and a lot of strength work. The idea with yoga is that like when you leave the class, you want your t-shirt to be drenched in sweat, okay, and not because it's hot in there, not like hot yoga, okay. I've never done like Bikram or something, which is like the most popular hot yoga, so I can't comment on that. However, I've seen bodies of people who do Bikram yoga, and it's nothing really impressive. However, the yoga classes that I used to do at Equinox in West LA were amazing, and the women in there, oh my god, like wow, incredible. Finally, just make up your own shit. Like do a combination, make your own CrossFit, like work all of this shit in there on your own. I generally, like if you're into fitness for a long time, you'll probably do this anyway, just as a result of being in the gym for so long and trying different things and experimenting with different things. But I think that's extremely valuable to just experiment and try different shit, because that's how you figure out what works. Like I didn't invent this shit one day. I was like, oh, I'll do all of these random ass things, you know? No, I didn't. I discovered the like weakness training one day when I just like decided to do my entire workout of weakness training, right? And then I noticed all these benefits. And I was like, oh, this is actually like a thing. Okay, and now it's like a major part of my training. Okay, training fasted versus not. Try both, see what you like better. I personally I prefer to train fasted because, maybe partially because I artificially enhance my performance with stimulants and supplements. So like that might be making up for it a little bit, but also I just believe that like, I don't know, maybe I'm just used to it at this point. I'm used to like being empty throughout the day, and it's worth it to me to maybe sacrifice a little bit of performance to be able to train fasted and utilize, my lack of insulin spikes throughout the day to get shit done. Okay, if you are going to eat, and why do I recommend this? Because this is the only time that I've been able to eat a meal before working out where I haven't felt bloated and I've actually felt better and had more energy, which is literally just oats and water. Like you put some oats in a bowl, you put some water in that shit, and you put it in the microwave for like a minute, and then you eat it. That's it. Add some salt, add some sugar for taste, whatever. A little bit of peanut butter maybe if you want. But that's it. I'll notice that I always get a better workout if I do that. I don't have a microwave now, obviously I can't do that. Regardless of what you like, regardless if you do this or this, mix it up and just change things, because your body will get used to whatever you're doing. And then when you mix it up, you'll realize the benefits of doing it the other way. Okay, so this is something that is hard to kind of do because we're so used to doing things one way and we're so attached to our result that we don't think that changing anything is going to be beneficial, but actually it is. Stimulants and drugs. Okay, so steroids. Don't even think about doing steroids unless you're a veteran fitness person or a longtime hobbyist athlete. Okay, I would consider myself a longtime hobbyist athlete, okay, because I've been training for a long time. I'm a hobbyist. I'm not like a fitness professional. Not like I'm an athlete. I don't like compete or do anything. Like I just don't. Like I sit in my room and like make videos all day and like eat. That's like my life these days. But the reason for some of you newer people out there, I'm thinking guys really, like, you don't want to do steroids because you don't know what you're capable of yet. So the point is that when you train naturally for an extended period of time, you'll learn how to push yourself, and you'll learn how you respond to different stimuli. Okay, and once you have a sufficient level of experience under your belt, then you'll be able to do things like steroids, and you already know how to train, so you'll be able to get the most out of it. Okay, because these, I don't, they're not super dangerous, right? But it's something that you need to pay very close attention to, because it's very easy for it to get out of hand, because they're psychologically addicting. All of a sudden, like, you're doing your same workouts, but you're like way more muscular. People are giving you all this positive attention. You feel better mentally. So like it's easy for it to kind of spiral out of control. It's just better if you're already like a healthy person, so you have all these other healthy habits to kind of offset the negative health effects of steroids, which there are. SARMs, selective androgen receptor modulators. These, if you don't know what they are, you can research them if you want, but these are basically things that will make, they're like, people invented SARMs to kind of like make a steroid but with no negative effects, and you don't have the androgenic side effects of steroids with SARMs. In other words, with steroids you have some side effects of like acne, right? Hair growth, baldness, like stuff like that, right? Or hair loss, whatever. But with SARMs, you don't have those side effects, right? Those are like eliminated from SARMs because they don't activate the receptors that are responsible for that, your androgen receptors. But what they do, which is very bad, is they crash your natural testosterone production. So you can take the SARMs, you might get a little bit bigger, a little bit more muscular, but your natural testosterone production is going to be fucking zero. And you're going to feel like shit, and it's not like sustainable. Honestly, I don't know how people do like a full cycle of SARMs without wanting to kill themselves. Okay, caffeine I think is very good. Have a cup of coffee, have an energy drink before you work out. I think it's very good to get like an additional boost. Creatine I think is also very good. I think creatine can be taken year round. You don't need to cycle it. Like, anybody who says you need to cycle creatine is a fucking idiot. It's an amino acid. You don't need to cycle amino acids. I generally take they say to take 5 grams of creatine a day. I take like 2-3 grams. I think that's enough for me. I've taken 5 grams occasionally, but because I take it on an empty stomach with other stuff as well, like I don't want to get an upset stomach before I go to the gym, you know what I mean? Which you do run the risk of that. Creatine's amazing though. You get better workouts, you get better pumps, you have more energy. You drink a lot of water also, so make sure to drink more water. Some nootropics are also good. Certain racetams, well, all of the racetams really, piracetam, pramiracetam, Nuopept we could call a racetam as well. If you don't know what these are, maybe do some research on your own. A good one to start with, I would say, is just Nuopept. You need a very small dose, it's safe, and it'll give you a nice little boost. Also make you a little bit smarter. Modafinil is also very good, but this is like an all-day thing. This is not to be taken as like a pre-workout. I don't want to go into this too much right now. Look that up on your own. Responsible usage. Have to be responsible. No stimulants before bed, obviously. Like, are you fucking retarded? Like, now before bed, if your workout is like at 5 p.m. and you've been up all day and you've been doing shit all day, I think it's fine to take pre-workout with a stimulant in it, or even just have a cup of coffee and go work out, because by the time that cup of coffee wears off, you're going to be exhausted from your workout, and then you eat a big meal afterwards, like the insulin spike and like all that other shit, like you'll be fine to go to bed, you know what I mean? But don't take it like an hour before you go to bed, you know what I mean? Obviously. You can always add more, but you can't do the opposite, all right? So like if you don't know how much to take, like I read something like some kid in Australia like died because he put a spoonful of caffeine in his coffee or in his like pre-workout, right? Caffeine is a very powerful drug. Like if you have pure caffeine powder, like throw it away. Like don't touch it. Like you should not have that if you have it and you don't know why. Like a cup of coffee has 200 milligrams. So a fucking teaspoon, that's like 2 grams. It's like fucking 20 cups of coffee. It's not good. Anyway, most like commercially available products don't have that. None of them have it. The point is that if you have a little bit and you feel like you need more, you can add more, right? Period. Just try them. Try the different supplements and stuff. See how you feel. If you perform better, if you perform worse, like, just try them out. Like the stuff that's commercially available is generally not dangerous. So you can pretty much trust what's available. Maximize your results by making a conscious effort to train harder. This basically means like if you're going to take a supplement before you work out, if you're going to take some pre-workout, if you're going to drink a cup of coffee, you're going to have some ginseng, you're going to do like whatever you want to do, make sure that you make a conscious effort when you go to the gym to take advantage of that, right? Because like, I don't want to say these things are bad for your health, but like there's no point in just going to the gym and fucking having coffee or whatever pre-workout and doing a lazy like workout. You know, like go and like maximize your time there if you're going to take that. Maximize your time there anyway, but like you're taking this added thing to like artificially boost your energy levels. Fucking utilize that shit. Training frequency. Listen to your body. Obviously, like if you feel like shit, don't force yourself to work out, like duh. But push yourself, you know, like always try and push yourself a little bit more and more each day, or each workout. Now, obviously, like not every single day is going to be like your best workout in the gym. It's not like a linear progress like this. It's more like, you know, like this, right? Try and make small incremental improvements, which most people will naturally do in the gym anyway, like adding a little bit more weight, doing a few more reps, just, you know, all basic shit. Don't be stupid. So like, you know, shout out to all my anorexic fans out there. Like, don't fucking do cardio like 18 days in a row and starve yourself, obviously, right? But even for my gym bros out there, like, you know, it's a lot of us, like, let's call it what it is. A lot of us, we get into fitness because we're insecure and we see the gym as this place of like going to feel better. And we have friends at the gym. We spend a lot of time at the gym and we get the endorphin rush from lifting weights. So it's tempting to go like every single day. But you need to understand that like you can go every day, but maybe on one of those days, maybe you don't work out and just stretch, you know? So don't train too much, I guess. Less isn't more, but rest days are important. So it's not that less is more, like more is more, kind of, but you do need to rest as well. Possible training schedules, mix it up, see what happens. Currently I'm doing 1-1, so like 1 day of training, 1 day of rest. And naturally the length of my training sessions and intensity of my training sessions will go up the more rest days that I have. So currently, I've mentioned this before, but my workouts are basically like 3.5 mile run to the gym, workout for like an hour, doing a very similar workout to what I've outlined in this video, and then a 3.5 mile run back to where I live. Okay, that's 3 hours straight. Like that's hard. Okay, I could probably like maybe now I could do like 2-1 because I've like worked up to that. But I no shame at all in doing 1-1. Another possible schedule is 3-1. This is very common in CrossFit, right? You like if you go on CrossFit, like workout of the day, CrossFit.com, they post their workout of the day, and generally 99 times out of 100, they'll tell you they'll like have 3 workouts, right? Like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday will be a day off. Like random example days of the week. It doesn't always line up like that. And another example, like let's say you're doing moderate volume bodybuilding workouts, like I think you can train 6 days a week and take 1 day off, or 5 too. Fuck man, just fucking play with it, you know, like just experiment. I don't know what to tell you, like you can make anything work, but it depends on your goals and the intensity of the workouts. So like my goal for training right now, I'll use myself as an example. My goal is to spend as little money as possible and spend as little money as possible, maintain a lean look, and work out semi-infrequently so that I have time to like upload lots of videos during the week, right? Because I want to maximize the time that I have in Bangkok, where essentially, I don't say I'm living here for free, but like it's basically free. So I fucking spend all day making videos, and if I have to work out too often, then it's like, you know, it's not that it's a waste, but like whatever, kills a lot of birds with one stone. But what are your goals? You know, those are probably not your goals, right? You have to figure like what works into your life, what you want your body to look like, and decide. Training intensity. Okay, like I said before, not every day will be your best day. You will have some days where you don't lift as much as you did before. It's not like a slow, gradual improvement where every day you're lifting more. It doesn't work like that. So keep that in mind. Don't beat yourself up if you have a day where you're low energy or low strength. Like I have many, many, many days where I will like get dressed, go to the gym, like walk through the gym doors and like go up to the weight training area and like go lie down on the like ab mat or like where the stretching area is and lie down there for like 10 minutes and like look at the ceiling and not do any exercises at all and then just leave. Okay, because I just don't have it in me that day to train. Okay, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that if you have experience and you know how to listen to your body. And really, if you don't have an experience, like, fuck, man, like, if you're just a lazy piece of shit and you're using that, like, oh, I don't really want to work out today, as an excuse to not go, maybe push yourself a little harder. But if you've got more experience, or like intermediate or advanced lifter, like, take a day off whenever you want, basically. Like, you don't need to fucking kill yourself, dog. Like, you're going to go to the gym every other day this week, or as necessary. So fuck it, dog. Take a day off, go home, do whatever you want. Being consistent is more important than being perfect. Okay, you could say this about anything in life, honestly, but with fitness, it's especially true. Going to the gym and doing something is much more important than like focusing on doing everything the right way, which is why, like, honestly, like, I got a little frustrated when people would ask me for training advice, because it's like, just go to the gym, just go do something. That's the most important thing, right? It's not about like, and I guess like there is some nuance where you do need to do things. Well, you'll get a different result if you do things in a different way, right? So like, okay, fine. I guess people want like a little bit more direction, but really what it is like, just go every day and like you'll figure it out on the way, right? Without wasting any time, basically. Like, you go to the gym, you do a workout, as long as you know the basics, like fucking 3 sets of 10 on some body part, like, that you can get from any program anywhere. Like, you went to the gym, you got a workout, you feel a little bit better afterwards, you eat more food than usual, you're on the right track. That's it. Mix up your volume / intensity / schedule. This is like, you should do this. Most people don't do this because like, we get into a routine, we do the same workout every time, or the same set of like, same couple workouts that we do. It's important to change things, which I believe will come with time. Just keep that in mind, that like, you don't want to do the same workout all the time, because the level of benefit that you will get from each additional workout will be reduced, because your body will get used to whatever the stimulus is. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because is it good to get used to, like, let's say your average like professional boxer workout, right, where he runs like 10 miles and does 5 rounds of jump rope and like 10 rounds on the pads and fucking 5 rounds of heavy bag afterwards. It's very good to get used to that. You know what I mean? Like, you look amazing if you get used to that. But for us, we're like just normal people. It's easier to kind of vary the intensity and the volume of our workouts in order to maximize our time at the gym, time / results at the gym. Okay, training intensity, obviously listen to your body. I said that before, but like, if you feel like shit, like, don't go and try and bust a PR just because you said you would. Like, just don't. What are you trying to prove something to somebody? Like, don't be stupid, like, getting an injury is not worth it. And you'll get injuries from time to time. Probably should have made a slide on that, but you'll have injuries from time to time. Fine, everybody makes mistakes, but like, minimize it by not being an idiot. Whew, final considerations. My God, this is taking forever. Okay, fitness. You'll do this for the rest of your life. Don't rush it. Okay, this is why, to the point I made earlier about like getting, I don't say frustrated with people asking me for fitness advice, but like, you should be doing this every day anyway. Like, you should, not that you shouldn't need to ask me. I understand people have questions. They want to know if they're doing things properly, and they want to eliminate the learning curve as much as possible. I get it. But you have to understand, like, imagine, let's say you're going to live another 60 years, whatever, random number. If you know you're going to be doing something every day for the next 60 years, are you like in a rush to like figure out how to do it the right way tomorrow? No, you've got time. Don't worry about it. Year 5 will be better than year 1. Obviously, if you're just starting out now, or you just started recently, like, you're gonna suck. You're gonna be fucking garbage. You're gonna be awful. Like, I don't care what you're doing. So don't beat yourself up about it, that you didn't do things perfectly the right way the first time. Who cares? And a side note is that a lot of people are like embarrassed if they're out of shape or fat or whatever. They're embarrassed to go to the gym because they're fat. They're worried about being fat. Think people are judging them. Most people who work out and go to the gym were previously fat and got fit as a result of going to the gym. That's number 1. Number 2, nobody fucking cares about you, dog. Like, actually, nobody fucking cares about anything about you or your life or your insecurities. People are so worried about themselves that like, you're not even like a piece of shit from a fucking fly, anywhere. Like, okay, fine, that's a bit extreme, but like, people just don't care. All right, everyone's worried about their own shit. Like, don't be insecure. If anything, like, the fit people at the gym will probably encourage you, because it's respectable to be fat or whatever and like go to the gym, you know, or a fucking skeleton. Like, props. Okay, the more you work, the less hard you have to work. So this basically means like once you get up to a certain level of fitness, the less overall work it requires to get yourself to the gym and to work out. And also the less work I feel you have to put in the gym to maintain whatever your current body type is like. You could say this is a result of just like desensitizing yourself to the quote unquote pain of working out or discomfort. That I think is part of it. But I think there also is something to the fact, something to the like the notion that the more you train, the more your body's like, I hate this term, but like your body's set point is just a high level of fitness. And once you like, I noticed when I started doing kettlebells, right? Like I was living in Tel Aviv and like I would do these fucking kettlebell workouts and I would sometimes have an extended period of time where I wouldn't train and I would be fucking jacked like forever, like without having worked out. And I think it was from the kettlebells. But anyway, the point is that when you're really fit for a long time, it's harder to lose your fitness and it's easier to get your fitness back if you stop and then start again. And it just takes less work in the gym. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, don't skip leg/shoulder/cardio day. Just don't. You know, don't skip leg day. Like guys, don't skip leg day. Ladies, don't skip upper body. Like this drives me crazy. These fucking women who don't work their upper body. Like I want to slap you. Like yeah, you have a nice ass, but your arms look like shit. So it's not a good look. Your arm looks like a fucking tube of like disgusting flabby flesh. Like sorry. Like you put all this work into your legs, into your ass. I see you in the gym for like an hour, like strapping these weird fucking bands to your legs, doing your like meme girl Instagram workouts. Great, wonderful, but complete the package, please. Like, get something on your upper body, like a little bit. It's not manly. It's hot. It's sexy. Okay, we like toned muscles. We don't like you to like jiggle your arm and see the fucking folds of skin flapping around. Okay, don't skip those. Bottom line, you know. This is not like an insult to somebody who's like not in shape, not working out. This is specifically for girls who just willfully neglect their upper body because they think it's not aesthetic, which is stupid in my opinion. Don't skip cardio. Went over that. A million ways to skin a cat. Okay, this is one way to train this entire presentation, right? I could sit here and I could make 20 of these presentations and explain to you different ways to train. Okay, this was a very general list of suggestions. And I guess we could call it like a training program, sort of, where it doesn't require that much thought and you're kind of guaranteed a fairly good result without having to worry about like micromanaging all this shit, okay? But like I said, I could sit here, I could make a fucking program every single day with like different ways to do different things. I could make a program on abs, I could make a program on legs, I could make a program on fucking cardio, on stretching, like all this shit. But this one is, I don't know, I think it's a good starting point. Like general conditioning and fucking working your entire body as a beginner. I don't know, not a lot of room for error in that, my personal opinion. But like I said, use this or really any info that you get as a starting point. Okay, so what I mean by that, everything that I told you here, you can take my word for it. You can blindly follow it if you want. Yeah, nothing wrong with that, I guess. Or what you can do is you can, you know, figure it out, or like take what I've told you here and go test it and go try it on your own, which is really what you should do with any information that you get with anything, but specifically with fitness. And yeah, test, just fucking test out different shit, see what works, see what doesn't work, see what your body responds to, see what feels good, see what you enjoy doing. It's really what it comes down to, is like, do what you enjoy. You know, if you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. You don't have to go to the gym. You can play a sport, you can go do CrossFit, like whatever, just do something. Okay, so, wow, so long ass video. I'm exhausted. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know, leave me a comment. Peace.